booktube, it's Amy. So I'm here with a book haul. Now this is a box of books that was delivered directly to my doorstep by my favorite used bookstore here in Ottawa, Black Squirrel Books. Now Black Squirrel Books is of course closed at the moment for obvious reasons given the current situation, but they have decided to offer delivery of mystery boxes anywhere in Canada. Now, if you live outside of central Ottawa, your box would be sent in the mail by post for a flat rate, but within central Ottawa, they are delivering directly to people's doorsteps. So I went ahead and I ordered myself a box, and I want to show you the nice stamp without showing you my address, of course. So there is the Black Squirrel Books stamp and a nice thank you note. And I have no clue what's in this box. It was $20 and I ordered it a couple days ago. And here we go. I'm going to open it and we shall see. Black Squirrel Books has long been one of my favorite, my favorite bookstore in Ottawa. I discovered them the first week that I moved to Ottawa in 2016 when I came here for grad school, and they became one of my favorite places to go and to drink tea and to read while I was working on my master's. And even to date, I often go there, not so much to read and to drink tea anymore, but I go for their amazing selection of books, and I rarely walk out of there without something amazing. So let's see what they have put in my box here. So let's see. We have something called A Mountain of Crumbs, a memoir. Now I should point out that I was able to select what genre of books I wanted, so I selected biography and memoir. So this first one is called A Mountain of Crumbs, a memoir, the Russian equivalent of Angela's Ashes, by Elena Gorokova. Let me know in the comments below if you've read this one or heard of it. Elena Gorokova's A Mountain of Crumbs is the moving story of a Soviet girl who discovers the truths adults are hiding from her and the lies her homeland lives by. Elena's country is no longer the majestic Russia of literature or the czars, but a nation struggling to retain its power and its pride. Born with a desire to explore the world beyond her borders, Elena finds her passion in the complexity of the English language, but in the Soviet Union of the 1960s, such a passion verges on the subversive. Elena is controlled by the state the same way she is controlled by her mother, a mirror image of her motherland, overbearing, protective, difficult to leave. In the battle between a strong-willed daughter and her authoritarian mother, the daughter in the end must break free and leave in order to survive. Through Elena's captivating voice, we learn not only the stories of Russian family life in the second half of the 20th century, but also the story of one rebellious citizen whose curiosity and determination finally transport her to a new world. It is an elegy to the lost country of childhood, where those who leave can never return. So that sounds quite interesting. Let's see. We also have Beyond Belief, My Secret Life Inside Scientology, and My Harrowing Escape by Jenna Miscavige Hill with Lisa Pulitzer. So this appears to be the memoir of a woman who grew up in the Church of Scientology and who obviously escaped it, given the fact that she is writing this book. Not something I would usually pick up, but we'll see whether this is something I'm going to enjoy. Young Mandela, The Revolutionary Years by David James Smith. Nelson Mandela is one of the greatest political icons of our age, recognized throughout the world as a leader whose name is synonymous with freedom and moral authority. As president of South Africa, he became fixed in the public mind as the world's elder statesman, the dignified gray-haired man with a kindly smile who, despite having spent 27 terrible years in prison, was a supreme model of tolerance, generosity, and grace. So I don't know much about Nelson Mandela. I know the basics, of course, but it will be interesting to learn a little bit more about him by reading this. These are definitely some books that are going to get me through these very quiet weeks here at home. I've got one more here, Cleopatra, A Life by Stacy Schiff, winner of the Pulitzer Prize. So this has some quite beautiful end papers here. I'm assuming we've got the same thing in the back. Yes, we do. So I guess this is a biography of Cleopatra, judging by the title. It says on the inside flap here, her palace shimmered with onyx, garnet, and gold, but was richer still in political and sexual intrigue. Above all else, Cleopatra was a shrewd strategist and an ingenious negotiator. Though her life spanned fewer than 40 years, it reshaped the contours of the ancient world. She was married twice, each time to a brother. She waged a brutal civil war against the first when both were teenagers. She poisoned the second. Ultimately, she dispensed with an ambitious sister as well. Incest and assassination were family specialities. Cleopatra appears to have had sex with only 2 men. They happen, however, to have been Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, among the most prominent Romans of the day. Both were married to other women. Cleopatra had a child with Caesar, and after his murder, 3 more with his protege. Already she was the wealthiest ruler in the Mediterranean. The relationship with Antony confirmed her status as the most influential woman of the age. The two would together attempt to forge a new empire in an alliance that spelled their ends. Cleopatra has lodged herself in our imaginations ever since. Famous long before she was notorious, Cleopatra has gone down in history for all the wrong reasons. Shakespeare and Shaw put words in her mouth. Michelangelo and Elizabeth Taylor put a face to her name. Along the way, Cleopatra's supple personality and the drama of her circumstances have been lost. In a masterly return to the classical sources, Stacy Schiff here boldly separates fact from fiction to rescue the magnetic queen whose death ushered in a new world order. Rich in detail, epic in scope, Schiff's is a luminous, deeply original reconstruction of a dazzling life. So that sounds quite good as well. As I said, these books are definitely going to be some interesting reading for me to explore as I sit out whatever the few next weeks or months even are going to be. Normally I am very much a recluse, but usually I have other pastimes such as going to movies and hanging out with friends. But at this point, it's just me, my apartment, and a daily walk. I have work, of course, but that doesn't take up all the hours in my day. So I've got this great box of books. If you are in the area or in Canada and are looking for some reading material, this would be a great way to get some. You can select pretty much any genre you choose. I just happen to go with the biography and memoir, but I'm pleased with what I have here. I hope you all have a great weekend.